My name's Roger Hurst and I am a co-founder of Vision Creative Labs. Vision Creative Labs is a video production company and we're focused primarily in the finance and decentralized finance space. What we're really trying to do is create video at scale that's engaging for the finance industry. So it's been this really sort of big black hole that we've got in the finance space because everyone wants to make videos, but the problem is that people in finance don't really know how to make videos, and people who make videos often don't know about finance. So we felt there was this huge yawning gap there to be filled. So we've gone into that space to try and make engaging content because finance itself is often considered to be a very dour, very boring area with very dry content. But at the heart of it is narrative. There is engaging content still to be made from there. So we focused on that engagement for the end user so that we can make something more interesting out of this very thought of dour content. Great thing about the application of AI is it's the video at scale, because in this industry there are companies which are trying to communicate with often tens of thousands of end users. They want to do video at scale, but they also want to do it cheaply. And before now, this has been prohibited because obviously filming required many cameras, often required a set. Whereas now what we can do is we can do that once and then create incredibly large amounts of content that can be manipulated and changed over time. And often these clients want to make hundreds, if not thousands of videos a year. What gets me most excited about the technology is the vast array of possibilities. Most people think of AI in very much the abstract sense, but what we've been able to do using the HeyGen technology is create lots of user cases. And as soon as you get a user case in front of a client, suddenly their eyes light up and they think themselves of all the possibilities. And when they can think of real possibilities, suddenly the horizon becomes very, very wide and they realize that the opportunity is absolutely vast. So the key thing for us with HeyGen, we started using back in 2023, was that it was this very high quality ability to create content at scale and recreate the presence of the people who wanted to get their content out there. And so we very quickly realized that we could use HeyGen's AI technology to allow our customers to become the voice of their own products. But we often forget that the most important thing when we're talking to clients is, can you do this in a simple, cost-effective and efficient manner? And when you talk to these clients, often who are very, very time sensitive, and they all say, look, I don't want to use my time in front of the camera. We'll do it once and we can make 50 videos, 60 videos, 10 videos a day if you really want to. And suddenly their eyes light up and they start to think, okay, now I'm interested in video again. We actually want to do this because we know it is engaging. It's so easy to use, so simple to use. It allows this scalability, efficiency, and it also allows speed, which is very important in the financial markets because they're moving so quickly. We can change the updates almost instantaneously. And for us, that was a game changer. The magic moment for me is that we had a film that we made every week or every month, which was called The Man from Mac. It was me presenting to camera. And we used some of this footage to create a custom avatar. And suddenly I realized that pretty much from anywhere in the world, I could keep engaging with my end clients and creating these videos. And for us, that was this moment of, my God, they look good, they look real. And we had clients who thought, my God, that really is you, isn't it? And obviously we told them it wasn't. When I created my first particular one, it was satisfying but quite unnerving at the beginning. But what was most satisfying is when my wife and kids watched it. And they were slightly surprised and they actually went, Dad, that's quite unnerving because it really does look like you. It does sound like you. I expected it to look like something, kind of this weird robotic thing. And it was that realism, that photorealism of it that really drew them in. And I think once I realized that my family, my closest family, actually thought it was very, very good, is when I realized that for people who don't know me, it's almost entirely convincing. Again, this is something which is very, very powerful. One of the most impactful elements of the HeyGen avatars was the translation function. And this was a fantastic revelation because it meant that I, who am absolutely, utterly useless at languages, could suddenly speak fluently in French and Italian. And the realization that now you can get in front of a client base with one piece of research. You could have clients in Asia, in Europe, in South America, and that same piece of research would be relevant to all of them. Again, this is something which suddenly brings the clouds away from people's eyes and they realize, my God, this is something which can have such a massive penetration from such a small input, that it's something which people realize the opportunity is enormous. One of the great impacts is when we had a client that's very, very international and they said, look, I need to do this in Hindi, and we did. And I need to do this in Japanese, and we did. And can I do this actually from this location rather than that location? And obviously we did. So it's that brilliance of being able to create this multiple content and in these multiple settings, but again, just from one script. And so that has been very, very powerful because clients, once they realize that, once they see that, they want to be involved and they want to get involved and they all want their avatar to be made. Normally people think of a video which is relatively static, you film it, it's done and it goes out. But What we've been able to do with the HeyGen technology is create a video which can then be individualized for people or for particular markets. So you get this incredible versatility. So one video is no longer one video, it might be 10 videos, it might have 20 languages. Again, you suddenly realize that this is a sort of a never-ending stream of content, but created from just one script. And that's the versatility which is so empowering with these videos. The experience of creating videos with HeyGen is one which has been incredibly simple. Very little effort on our side because all the effort has been put in by HeyGen. It's the technology which does all the work. That's the heavy lifting. What we come in and do is we help our clients understand this and then use that versatility to create their own content. And that has been a very, very powerful element to the whole process. Seeing our ideas instantly evolve into videos using the HeyGen platform is very, in fact, incredibly satisfying because it requires so little effort on my part. I still have to write some scripts or I have to help our clients with scripts. But knowing that those scripts go in at one end and this polished video comes out at the other is so utterly absorbing, but also very, very satisfying because for me, the actual amount of work that I'm actually doing is relatively small, and our clients want to get involved because they realize that for them, this is something which brings a lot of people to the table and allows them to reach a very, very large number of end clients. It's a real realization of the true power of the technology.